I'm not sure what my next big video is gonna be, but I don't think it's gonna be Forsaken.
So, you read the title. You already know I'm a big liar. At the time of making that video, what I said about not enjoying Forsaken was true, but now it's not. I've always had a love-hate relationship with Forsaken, where some days I have tons of fun, and others I wish I was doing anything else but playing the game. It also doesn't help that when I made that video, I was non-stop playing, in my opinion, the two least fun characters to play in the game, Veronica and Sixer. But once I got them both to level 100 and went back to playing the characters I actually enjoy, I started having fun again. So yeah, that's why it says Forsaken in the title and not Die of Death, which I also said I was going to make a video on, but now I don't really even like that game anymore, so... Anyway, you're here for what this video is actually about. My concept for Forsaken x Bee Swarm Simulator collab. For this video, I have designed two killer skins relating to Bee Swarm Simulator, or as I will mostly be calling it throughout this video, BSS. If you don't already know, BSS is a simulator game where your goal is to collect pollen and make honey using your hive of various bees. This game is a simulator game, so there isn't really an end, but you can definitely set your own goals and achievements that you want to accomplish. Personally, I have been playing BSS for a long time. I started playing way back in 2019 and have just reached 1,500 hours logged on this game, which makes for an average of 250 hours spent playing BSS every year. If you couldn't already tell that I'm unemployed, now you know for sure. Now, if you've ever played this game before and are thinking of starting it, I do have to warn you. It's a very grindy game requiring lots of time and logging in to make progress. But also, there is no better time to play the game than when Beesmas is happening, which is also right now when I'm making this video. And for those of you who do understand BSS and are curious about my progress, I am a red hive with all 50 hive slots and dark scythe, as well as a supreme star amulet that has scorching star and star saw. Also, as I'm writing this, I am literally 50 tropical drinks away from getting coconut belt. To what I'm assuming is most of you, that didn't make any sense, so let me give you some more context before we get to the skins. In BSS, there are three types of pollen, red, blue, and white. Likewise, there are three types of bees, red, blue, and colorless. Red bees collect pollen better than blue bees, and blue bees collect blue pollen better than red bees, and you probably get the idea. What most players do in the game is specialize in one type of pollen collection. For example, I am a red hive, which means most of my bees and gear specialize in collecting red pollen. You can also be a blue hive and a white hive, although specializing in white is much harder to do as for some reason, all of the white gear in the game is way harder to obtain than everything else. Anyway, one of the main game mechanics of BSS is using different bees in your hive to create synergies between them and the gear that you have so that you can earn bigger and bigger numbers of honey. So now that you understand that, let's get to the skins. For the concept of the skins I came up with, it follows that of the BSS hive colors. I wanted the two skins to be similar to each other, but differentiate themselves with the items that hive color would have. Therefore, the two skins I have come up with are Red Hive John Doe and Blue Hive John Doe. Sorry to you White Hive enjoyers, I couldn't think of anything. Rather than show both skins at the same time, I'm going to start with Red Hive John Doe. Here is the model. On this skin, there are a lot of different gear that a late game Red Hive like myself would have. The headgear is the Demon Mask. The shoulder gear is the Crimson Guard. The waist gear is the Coconut Belt. The gear on the back is the Coconut Canister. The gear on the legs are the Gummy Boots. And the spike is the Dark Scythe. Also, the corruption that is on regular John Doe is now a hive corruption. And no, it's not hives like the disease, it's hives like the beehives that you have in the game. Good lord, why would you even think of that? The hive corruption has overtaken the right arm and merged it with the dark scythe and made claws on the left arm. On the face, the hive corruption has broken through the mask and now puppets the player. And speaking of players, you may have noticed that the clothes on the skin are all gray. This is because this skin would work similarly to the yourself skins for the other killers. This skin's clothes would be your shirt, t-shirt, and pants for the clothes, but not anything else. At first, I was gonna have the skin use the clothes of the developer of BSS, Onett, but 1, it didn't look very good, and 2, I don't think Onett would ever want to be portrayed as some evil guy killing people. Honestly, I don't even think Onett would ever want BSS to be associated with Forsaken, but again, this is just a concept made entirely for fun and because I love both of these games. I don't ever expect my ideas to ever actually be put in the game. So now that you've seen the model, here is the render. For this render and the Blue Hive render, I wanted them to mirror each other with the pose, so later you'll see what I mean when I show you them side by side. As you can see in the render, the skin also has some effects going on. The Hive corruption on the skin has this orange fog around it, as well as some bees floating around. Also, the Dark Scythe has the violet fire particles seen in-game on its tip. Likewise, the Demon Mask has some square fire particles on the horns. Now, to clarify some things for the big fans of BSS, I took some creative liberties with these skins and the gear, so they aren't one-to-one. Moving on, the skin has some other custom effects for John Doe's abilities, such as the Corrupted status effect. Rather than the red binary, the Corrupted effect would mirror that of the effect shown on the skin. The player is covered in the orange fog and bees float around them. The bees would also be pretty big because if they were small, it might look like the player was covered in some sort of stink aura and being swarmed by flies or something. Don't get me wrong, that's really funny, but it's not what I'm going for. The next custom thing is the trail that follows John Doe. Rather than being black with a red binary, the trail is actually a trail of goo. In BSS, the passive ability of the Gummy Boots is that it leaves a trail of goo behind you, covering the flowers in goo. Even though it doesn't make a ton of sense for stepping on goo to give you a corrupted status effect that makes you covered in orange fog and bees, there is no way I couldn't have this skin do this, as it's just too perfect. Similarly, for John Doe's digital footprint, I was going to have the puddle be a goo puddle because you stomp on the ground with the Gummy Boots, but I decided that was too much. Instead, the digital footprint puddle is a large hive slot that has bees swarming all around it. This way, it actually makes sense that you get covered in an orange fog and bees when you step on it. Lastly, for John Doe's corrupt nature, the spikes are now spirals of the hive corruption, with each one being topped with violet fire, matching it to the Dark Scythe. So that's everything custom that I have made for this skin. Nah, you know me, I had to make a chase theme for this skin. This song uses references to Bee Swarm Simulator's main theme, as well as some other bee abilities and gear. So if you're a fan of BSS, try to see if you can recognize the references. Now get your headphones on if you haven't already, so you can listen to Red Hive John Doe's chase theme, Swarmed, Red version. I really hope you enjoyed that song. This one was so much fun to make, and I actually feel like I was being really creative with this, unlike the music from the Undertale video, which were all just remixes. Don't get me wrong, I like the music from that video, but looking back, I definitely could have done something different like what the official Flowey Sixer skin did. Anyway, there is still one more skin to look at for this video. Now, I've already told you that these two skins are meant to mirror each other, but differentiate themselves through their gear, so don't be upset to see that some parts of these two skins are exactly the same. Anyway, here is the blue Hive John Doe's model. As you can see, the coconut canister, coconut belt, and gummy boots are the same here. The crimson guard from the red Hive skin has been replaced with the cobalt guard, the demon mask has been replaced with the diamond mask, and the dark scythe has been replaced with the tide popper. Personally, I think the tide popper works much better as a replacement for John Doe's spike arm than the scythe, but I also think the scythe would still work just fine. So putting these side by side, you can see that they really aren't too different. I wanted this to be the case as I don't believe that in BSS, red hives are better than blue hives or blue hives are better than red hives. To me, one should only choose between red and blue based on personal preference, which is why I try to make both of these skins as objectively good as one another as I could. That way, you could just pick which one you wanted to play without feeling like you're missing out on something. Now, here is the render. On this skin, the Hive Corruption has the same effect as the red Hive skin, but the Tide Popper and Diamond Mask have their own effects. Also, I didn't mention it earlier, but the Crimson and Cobalt guards would still have their respective trails that they normally have when you move around in BSS. As you can see, these two renders mirror each other with their posing. I would have preferred that the backgrounds I used weren't using the Beesma snow effects on the ground, but I couldn't find any screenshots online that were at the angle I needed, so you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that the ground is white and not green. So in terms of John Doe's passives and abilities, everything is the same between this skin and the red Hive one except for the spikes. The blue Hive spikes would have the same particles as the Tide Popper and Diamond Mask rather than the Violet Fire. So that's gonna wrap up the artwork for the skin, and so there's only one thing left, the chase song. This song mirrors the red Hive skin as, again, I wanted these two skins to mirror each other. I also tried to make both of these songs as objectively good as one another as I could, but personally, if you ask me, the red one is a little bit better. So BSS fans, keep your ears peeled for some more references in this one. Now get those headphones on for Blue Hive John Doe's chase theme, Swarmed, blue version. So, what did you guys think? Tell me about what you like or even don't like about these skins in the comments. Just remember that the only useful criticism is constructive criticism. Also, if you like the music in this video, you can listen to them again in their own respective videos that will be coming out shortly after this video goes live. If you liked what you saw in this video, I encourage you to consider subscribing because I love to make these videos where I make art about various video games that I'm really into. Also, if you don't want to hear me yap about future plans and whatnot, then feel free to click off here. So for those of you who are still here, thanks. I just want to quickly thank you for your support in my videos because it truly means so much to me seeing other people enjoy what I make. Also, I want to apologize to those of you who might have had your hopes up for a Die of Death video. I still have that big, ambitious project in mind, but it's either not gonna happen ever or not happen for a while. Also, in terms of what video I'm doing next, well, I have 3 ideas. Each one involves a different Roblox game that I really enjoy, and I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do yet. Just so you know, the 3 games are Forsaken, of course, Pressure, which I've mentioned before, and Voxel Blade, which I already made a video on, but I really want to do another one, even though the last one didn't do so well. I'm still debating on what it's going to be for now, but those should be what you can expect to see next. Also, real quick, I want to ask you guys if you have a preference for something when it comes to these concept videos. Would you rather the video format stay how it is, where I go through everything I made and just give some explanations for stuff? Or would you rather have me shut up and just show the stuff on screen like how a lot of other concept videos do it? I keep getting these Forsaken and Die of Death concept videos recommended to me, and they just like quickly go through all the custom stuff and then end within 5 minutes. So, I'm just curious if you guys would rather have a short video that shows everything quickly, or keep the format the same as it is now. Anyway, this video is long enough now, so see you in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.